Hey, FUMC Allen family, Pastor Mary Beth here. So what a great day we had on Sunday morning. If you were here, you know we had 155 folks in this room. And you know that the energy was palpable in this room. And then outside, after the worship service was over, the excitement out of the courtyard was just a joy to experience. And I'm so grateful for how everyone who came was really very respectful and honoring of our protocols and our expectations about safety and distancing, wearing masks all throughout the morning, and being sure to honor those distance requirements. If you were here, you also know that we kind of reached our capacity based on some of those protocols, and we're making some tweaks for this Sunday. I'm aware that in the two center sections, those pews are large enough that we think we can have 3 households on those pews. And so we think that will make a difference in terms of having more room for folks. So if you're planning to come this Sunday for in-person worship, I remind you to RSVP that way we're ready for you, we're prepared for you. Hope that you will take the time to do that. If you have been around our student ministry, you know what I mean when I say our Sunday morning worship in person is a red event. If you've seen our students in the building, you see that they are wearing one of these wristbands. These wristbands are a communication device that was dreamed up by Tori Cantu and Ed Whipple. These wristbands communicate with their colors the person's COVID risk tolerance. What that means is if I see someone wearing a red wristband, that communicates to me that they have the lowest risk tolerance. These are folks who, if they're with other people, they are masked and they're expecting those other people to be masked and expecting them to maintain social distance. Some red persons are even those who are still self-quarantining and are only interacting with persons in their household or maybe a very small bubble. Persons who have a yellow risk tolerance, these are folks who are getting out and are probably wearing a mask whenever they are out. And if they're with other people, they're definitely wearing a mask. But they have some flexibility about whether the other person wears a mask, but they are practicing social distancing. Green means those persons are willing to be with other people who are not masked, but they are still practicing social distancing. So these colors have been really helpful for us in terms of our planning for the fall as we think about ministry opportunities and study opportunities and worship opportunities and even serving opportunities. We're looking at all of those and determining whether it's a red event or a yellow event or a green event. Our new family and faith time on Sunday evenings, that's a yellow event. Persons are expected to wear masks when they're in the common spaces in the hallways, but when they gather in smaller groups, they can make a decision in that group about whether they're going to wear masks in that smaller group. We have our morning watch. That's a red event because for that event, the persons who gather for that don't get out of their vehicles. They don't interact with other people. Our 3rd grade Bible parade on Sunday evening is going to be a red event because families can stay in their vehicles, or if they get out to take a picture, they don't have to interact with other families. We have Bible studies that are yellow events. The people wear masks as they come into the building, but then make that decision when they're in the room together whether they will wear masks, but they practice social distancing. We even have a Bible study that is sort of a hybrid yellow-red because persons gather here for that Bible study, but they also have folks who Zoom in from their homes because they're red folks. So what's great about this is that when someone is wearing one of these bands, it helps me to know how to interact with them. If I see a red band, then I know that I'm going to keep my mask on, I'm going to keep my distance and maybe just wave to them. If they're wearing a yellow band, then I can draw closer and maybe offer an elbow bump. If they're wearing a green band, that means that I can come close and we can have a longer conversation, maybe even without our masks on at a social distance. If you're interested in having one of these bands, particularly on Sunday morning, we're going to have them available at the Welcome Center, because what we know is, as the church, from the beginnings of the church, as the church wrestled with the question of whether it was appropriate to eat meat sacrificed to idols, that we as the church need to pay attention to where other people are and what their tolerance level is, whether it is for food sacrificed to idols or their risk tolerance when it comes to COVID. We need to respect those boundaries, to pay attention to them. And these wristbands help us to know that without having to speak it or ask the question. So these will be available on Sunday morning. They're also available if you ever want to stop by the church, or send me an email if you'd like us to mail one of these to you so that you can wear this as well as a part of the family that is First United Methodist Church of Allen. Don't forget, if you're going to come for worship on Sunday, it's helpful for us if you RSVP. You can do that on our website. I'm praying for you. I hope you're praying for me. Shalom.